Hello and welcome to 2022 Honda Civic Type R, one of the latest cars to be added to Gran Turismo 7 with update 1.38, and today we're just gonna see how good it is in Gran Turismo 7. So, you pick it up from Brand Central for 50,000 credits. This is actually 5,000 credits cheaper than the previous generation. Now, when it comes to performance in the Type R, well, with the vehicle possessing 325 brake horsepower and only weighing 1430 kgs, it makes it for somewhat of a fun vehicle. When it comes to cornering, with it being front wheel drive and having no traction on, well, you're gonna notice a lot of understeer. And when I say a lot, I mean there's a ton of understeer. Now, something that is a bit different compared to other hot hatches is with the amount of power that it produces, that 325 brake horsepower, having no traction on, well, you're gonna see that the vehicle, when accelerating out of corners, it will want to light up its rear wheels. Now, you don't usually see that in like the A45 AMG. You don't see that happening. Understand, that's actually a bad example. It's a four-wheel drive car, but anyway, you don't really find hot hatches spinning up its front wheels when exiting corners, so there's something unique about the Type R. Now, when it comes to cornering, if you want to set fast lap times, you can go full throttle around corners and just slowly tap the brake pedal, and that will readjust the front end and just pull it in. That's just a trick that I learned when handling front wheel drive vehicles in this game. And when it comes to cornering, the suspension is rather soft. Understand, it is standard, it's meant for road use, but when it comes to tight corners like a tight chicane, then the vehicle will be a bit unstable. But other than that, it's quite decent. I mean, the braking system on the car gets you stopped when you need to, and the acceleration and overall power, if you jump out of a 1000 horsepower vehicle into this, yes, it's gonna feel slow. But if you just jump in and drive this vehicle, or you have been driving around in other hot hatches, well, you should be accustomed to the handling of this vehicle. It's nothing revolutionary, it's not game changing, it's not going to be the best hot hatch you've ever driven bone stock. It feels very generic and not really that exciting, if I'm going to be honest with you. But let's see, if we head on over to the tuning shop and actually upgrade it, if we can change that statement. If we head on over to the tuning shop, we see that if we spend a lot of credits, well, we can upgrade the performance on this Honda. So we take it from 325 brake horsepower up to 580 brake horsepower, which is incredible, making it one of the most powerful hot hatches in Gran Turismo 7. Then, with us also reducing the weight, this vehicle only has up to stage 3 weight reduction, and somehow we're still able to bring the weight down to 1115 kg. So now we have a lot of power and we have a lot less weight, so that should mean that we see a whole lot of better performance out of the Honda Civic. So now we're just gonna update the looks to match the updated power. So, something that's cool or a fun fact that you may not know, all of the Type B parts on the Honda Civic Type R are actually based off a Mugen concept kit. So, that is just an interesting tidbit that you might find unique about this vehicle. So, I was testing this car out super early. When I went on over to the livery side, there were only 5 liveries published for this car. So, I just kept it simple, standard paint, added my custom parts and some wheels and called it a day. So now when we head back out onto the track, we feel a bit of a change. Now the understeer in fact has increased. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And I think it's just because of the power that the vehicle produces. With it being front wheel drive, unlike a lot of the other hot hatches in Gran Turismo 7, which are all-wheel drive, this tends to push the car like out a line when you're accelerating through a corner. So I just realized to combat that, I just let off the accelerator, let the car basically coast through a corner, and then hammer it as soon as I get the chance or the perfect line to exit the corner. And this actually made me set quite decent lap times. Now, when I say quite decent lap times, you're setting lap times around a 1 minute 34 seconds around Kyoto Driving Park, which is bang average for every other hot hatch in this game. It's nothing revolutionary. Even the Toyota GR Corolla with a lot less power and it weighed a bit more, but because that vehicle had an all-wheel drive system, it set the same lap times. Now, fully upgraded, the closest thing that you can compare this to is the AMG A45, because that has, I think, 9 brake horsepower less and has somewhat near the same weight range, and it also sets the same lap times. So if you're looking for the fastest or the best hot hatch, I'm gonna tell you right now, the Honda Civic Type R is not the way to go. It's not gonna be wow, game changing, or it's gonna change your life. It's not gonna do any of that. Now, when it comes to the performance points of this Honda Civic, being fully upgraded with racing soft tires, max downforce, we're looking at the vehicle having 733 performance points, which means what you can do is downgrade it and get it to a 700 performance points range if you want to do some money grinding. But that's the problem, it's not good at money grinding. I took it around a WTC 700 and got it to its 700 performance points mark, and it just didn't do what it needed to do. Firstly, the car, it barely hit 300 kilometers per hour on the straightaways. Then when it comes to fuel efficiency, it's not the best. With just completing a single lap around Le Mans, I was left with 68% of fuel remaining, which means every 2 laps you're gonna need to go into the pits, which is insane, especially if you consider the fact that the car is on fuel map level 6, as fuel efficient as possible, as lean as possible. The car was still what I consider very thirsty when it comes to fuel economy. Now, understand, it's a standard street car engine that's been upgraded, so it is gonna consume fuel, but I don't know, the Honda Civic Type R, it just isn't really the best for money grinding. So overall, the Honda Civic, if I have to give it a solid rating, I don't even know I'm gonna give it. I'm probably gonna give it like a 7 out of 10. Yes, it's fun, it looks cool, it does what it needs to, but it doesn't really push the boundaries of a hot hatch. It doesn't bring a new element to the hot hatch world. It feels quite generic, and I feel like that's just the issue. So with all this being said, hope you guys do go on to enjoy this video. Don't forget, leave a like and subscribe for more Gran Turismo 7 content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.